عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله. To continue the series of going through the events and the incidents which took place in the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and how he reacted to these incidents. Before I start into the incident itself, I just want to pay your attention that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed that this religion of Islam to be the final message. And in order to be a final message, it has to carry a perfect code of life for all humanity. And in order to be a perfect code of life for all humanity, it has to be a comprehensive code to cover all aspects of life. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not like in any other religion before, He made the religion of Islam to be translated into real situations on the life of the Prophet himself. So he was the one to be really practically translating the faith of Islam in real life. So all his public and private life was all exposed. So everyone around was aware of what's going on with the life of the Prophet, even his private life. This was not easy on the Prophet because we care about our private life, but he is a Prophet. So it is him that he translated this faith into a real situation. So it is nothing called mystery or hidden in Islam. Everything is very clear because it is a real life situation. And with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he accompanied the Prophet with a group of friends, that they reported to us every little thing in his daily life. If little importance or great importance, everything is recorded for us and generations before us and generation after us to see. And the way he handled these situations reflects how great responsibility, great personality the Prophet was. He excelled in all aspects of all characters of human being. I'm sure many of you are aware of a book written by a Jewish-American philosopher and astrophysicist, Michael Hart. Michael Hart came up with a book, was published in '78, so in our lifetime. And in this, the title of the book itself is the list of the top 100 most influential individuals that have a great influence on the history of mankind since Adam. So everyone that has an influence on us till today, they are listed, 100 of them. And to the surprise of many, he put Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him on the top of the list. And by looking at the way he wrote about him, so it's like him here, and the second is here. And then the third was Jesus, peace be upon him. He described the Prophet, peace be upon him, to be a man that has many characteristics and he excelled in them all. So each one of us might be considered generous, friendly, funny, and all these kind of things. But the Prophet ﷺ excelled in all of them. Every good aspect of a human being, he excelled in them all. A social reformer, a diplomat, a businessman, army general, psychiatrist, husband, all these. You think of any characteristics that a human being can have, he has them all. And he was balancing among those characteristics. And then Aisha, his wife, when she described her, he was the most lenient husband, very generous. He used to serve himself at home. He does not ask her to get him a cup of water for them. He goes and gets himself a cup of water. He sewed his clothes. He fixed his sandals. He doesn't ask her, did not ask her to do this for me. No. Subhanallah. Wonderful husband. Has such beautiful personality and characteristics. So the incident which I'm going to talk about today, chapter 66, the Quran was revealed regarding this incident. Two of the wives of the Prophet, peace be upon him, tried to plot among themselves against a third wife. And this, of course, the Prophet himself was very emotional, but he knows how to control his emotions. He was not like us. Gets out in rage when something happens to us. But he was not like that. He has a very good control over his emotions. As they say, he never got angry when it comes to himself. He only gets angry when it is somebody displeases Allah. This is the only thing that makes him angry. And we all remember the story that he was sitting among the companions, and a Jewish man entered without saying a word, and he came to the Prophet straight and held him from his neck like that, so hard to the extent that his face was reddish, became reddish. The companions couldn't believe that this is happening in front of them, so Umar stood up with his sword, waiting for the Prophet to just give a signal, to just shove the neck of this individual. The Prophet looked at Umar and said, "No, Umar, this is not what I expected from you." The man came accusing the Prophet that he did not pay back the loan which the Prophet took from him. This was the day, today you are supposed to pay me, you pay me back, and you did not pay me. How come you did not fulfill your promise? And was holding hard the Prophet. So he looked at the Umar and told him, "No, Umar, what I expected from you to tell me why you did not pay the loan on time. And what you should tell him, this is not the way to ask for your rights. Be kind, be nice." Then the Jewish man put his hand down and said, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah." He was, "What is this?" He said, "Today is not the day to pay the loan. I know that. I read about you and I found all the characteristics of a prophet are there in you, except how you control your emotions. And I came to test you and I found that you really a prophet." SubhanAllah. Look at this. But when it comes to the emotions of his wives, he has no control over it. They are like any other women. And this kind of jealousy, easy to be there between women. So the incident tells that, because I was told the time is very limited, the incident tells that there are two narrations. Because of this incident, the narration came to reveal it to us, so for us to know how the Prophet reacted. It tells that there is a wife, one of the wives of the Prophet, her name is Zainab bint Jahsh. She was a beautiful young lady. She was married before to Zayd ibn Haritha. And Aisha was the youngest of them all. She was also beautiful, but she was jealous of Zainab bint Jahsh. So she plotted with Hafsa, another wife of the Prophet, telling her, the Prophet used to go to Zainab. She used to prepare a nice honey drink for him, and he enjoys this drink. So he keeps going to her. If he comes back from Zainab's house, if it comes to you or to me, we will both say that you smell like you had drunk something of a smell. That smells is not good. It's called Jafari. Jafari, they say it is some glue comes out from the trees. It is sweet but gives bad smell. So you smell like you had drunk in this drink. And the Prophet cares very much about his smell. He always smells good. So he came to one of them and she said that you smell like you had this drink. No, I didn't. I just had a honey drink. He went to the other one, same thing. He said, okay, I will never drink this again. Although it is lawful, I'm not even drink this again. But later on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed him of the blood. So two are plotting against one. And this is not supposed to be in the house of the Prophet. The highest moral standards should be there. The other narration says that Maryam al-Qibtiyya was a woman that was gifted to the Prophet by the ruler of Egypt. So the wives of the Prophet considered her as a slave, a bondwoman. So they looked at her as this. And the Prophet ﷺ never looked at anybody as a slave. In fact, Islam is the religion that eradicated slavery. By the year 90 or so of Hijrah, there was no slavery in Islam. It was over the world among Islam and Muslims. So he was treating her like any other wife. No, never looked down at her. So one of them, Hafsa, told him, don't ever go there. And she, since he was coming from Maria's Qibtiyya's house to Hafsa, and she was just outraged. And the Prophet ﷺ, just to pull her down, okay, I'm not going back. Exactly like you tell your wife, don't go to visit your sister, because every time she goes to visit her sister, she comes back, her husband brought this, he brought this, again, never brought anything for me, and it creates problems. So one time he said, don't go to visit your sister. Of course, it's nothing wrong with visiting his sister, but because of this situation, he just prevented his wife. And one day he came and realized that she visited his sister. Again, he was outraged, the husband. So then, what the response of the wife? Okay, I'm not going to visit my sister. Although it is nothing wrong with that. So this is exactly what the Prophet had done. Okay, I'm not going. So when he later realized that this was a plot to prevent him from going to Maria Qibtiyya or to Zainab Jahsh, that knows which incident took place, then he informed one of them. You did so and so and so. And as if he already knew the story. And she told him, who told you? He said, Allah. The all-known, all aware of everything. He's the one who told me. And when he made sure that this was a plot, he was very disappointed. How come something like this to take place in the house of the Prophet? He was very disappointed at them. So what did he do? Did he shout? Did he slap? Did he divorce them? Get out of my house? This is the way most of us get reacted to these kind of things. Angry at our works. But no. He just said, stay away from me for 1 month. I'm not going to get you, touch you. Stay away from me for 1 month. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Surah Tahrim, which is asking the wives of the Prophet to repent and not to repeat this kind of action before. And subhanAllah, they realized that this was a mistake, and this is the way we should do when we get angry with our wives, not to insult them or act in a way to really humiliate them, but just keep quiet and stay away from them for a few days, 3 days, maximum 1 month. And this is the way that we should follow the Prophet, peace and أقول قولي هذا واستغفر لكم. Okay, the quiz number 8, subhanAllah, 8th day of Ramadan now. And I'm sure now you know that this is just the meaning of some verse in the Quran, and what is needed from you, those who are getting into the competition, is to figure out what type of verse, number, and surah that reflects the meaning of this question. A verse in the Quran states that all children of Adam, let not the devil seduce you as he caused your parents to leave the garden and tore off from them their robe, that he might manifest their shame. Aura, or private parts, to them. Indeed, he sees you and his tribe, from whence you don't see them. Indeed, we have made the devils allies to those who do not believe. Please mention the name of the surah and the number of the verse, and the question will be posted outside for you to read more and more.